ma è una custodia che si estende poi alla Chiesa.
To protect Jesus with Mary, to protect the whole of creation, to protect each person, especially the poorest, to protect ourselves. This is a service that the Bishop of Rome is called to carry out, yet one to which all of us are called, so that the star of hope will shine brightly. Let us protect with love all that God has given us. With this strong call, Pope Francis concluded his homily at this morning's Mass, which marked the beginning of his Petrine ministry. On the feast of St. Joseph, Pope Francis proposed the guardian of Jesus and Mary, and of the whole Church, as Blessed John Paul II had emphasized, as a model to the almost 200,000 people who had gathered in and around St. Peter's Square. The vast crowd erupted in applause when the new pope also noted that the feast of St. Joseph was the name day of his predecessor, Joseph Ratzinger. The vocation of being a guardian or protector does not apply only to us Christians, Pope Francis explained, but to all men, because it means protecting all creation, respecting each of God's creatures, and respecting the environment in which we live, but also caring for each person with love, especially children, the elderly, those in need, those who we often think about least. Be stewards of God's gifts, Pope Francis insisted, addressing political and economic leaders, because when you fail to live up to this responsibility, the way is open to destruction and hearts are hardened. Being protectors, then, also means keeping watch over our emotions, over our hearts, because they are the seat of good and evil intentions, intentions that build up or tear down. We must not be afraid of goodness or even tenderness. It is not a virtue of the weak, but rather a sign of strength of spirit and a capacity for concern, for compassion, for genuine openness to others, for love. Certainly, Jesus Christ conferred power upon Peter, the Pope said, but real power, he concluded, is service. And the Pope, too, when exercising power, must enter ever more fully into the service which has its radiant culmination in the cross. Only those who serve with love are able to protect. Before the Mass, Pope Francis made his way through the piazza to bless and greet the faithful. Then, with the patriarchs of the Eastern Catholic Churches, he went down to the tomb of Peter for a short prayer. After the procession, before the beginning of the Mass, the proto-deacon, Cardinal Jean-Louis Tauran, imposed the pallium. The ring of the fisherman was given to Pope Francis by Cardinal Angelo Sodano, the dean of the College of Cardinals. Entering the Basilica after the Mass, the Pope received the respectful greetings of the heads of the delegations of 132 countries and international organizations that had attended the liturgy that marked the beginning of his Petrine ministry.